world's so screwed up. Take a look at your family. Look at the crap goes on in everybody's family. I mean, oh, you're going to fix the whole world when you can't fix your own situation here. They do this thing to diversify the people, to keep us divided rather than united. Who could give a damn what color a player is, what nationality, what they believe in? If they hit home runs, if they catch balls really great, and if they're a great pitcher and they could throw strikes, that's all they care about. But to diversify the people like this, the same thing with music, the same thing with everything. And so what they're really doing to this country is destroying it in front of our eyes. And again, the stupidity of that person saying about is national security.
Well, it's beyond stupid. It's dangerous, because this type of there aren't enough blacks in the World Series, or there aren't enough blacks at West Point. This type of attitude leads to government intervention and to denial of personal freedom, and also denial of opportunity. West Point, let's say there's 1,000 in the class. It should have the best 1,000 that they can attract, irrespective of race. It could be all black, all white, whatever it is. It's when the government puts its thumb on the scale in order to achieve some social benefit that has nothing to do with the freedom of choice, that harm comes about. I'm glad that the court laughed at this lawyer for the Justice Department, who's the Solicitor General, the principal person that represents the government before the Supreme Court, because her response was truly, truly absurd. And it shows you how two-faced the government is. Do as we say, not as we do.
Yep. I remember, I love music, and they had these old songs, watch Jackie Robinson hit that ball. They had songs about Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so sad to see what this country has devolved into. And you look at what how low this country keeps sinking, and how we've lost our style, our grace, and our freedom. And on the other note of freedom, look what's going on now with this Ukraine war. They just keep heating it up. And you had quoted Phil Giraldi and Scott Ritter as saying that the United States had troops on the ground in Ukraine. And
yes,
they weren't dressed up in the military drag to make it seem like they were there. And now they're announcing that, the Americans are there now. But of course, why are they there? We're checking on the equipment or something like that.
Right. Same way Vietnam started one of the great disasters in modern foreign policy. We were there as advisors under JFK. As soon as JFK was dead, we had half a million troops there. 10% of whom, 50,000, came home in a box.
Yep.
What did we gain?
We only killed over 3 million Vietnamese, poisoned the place with Agent Orange. And 58,000 American troops were killed. Over 250,000 were seriously wounded. And I know guys that fought there are still messed up in the brains because of what they did and what they saw. And again, another war brought to you by lies, by another arrogant piece of garbage, crap, scum, Robert McNamara, who finally admitted as he was dying that the whole thing was a lie. Wrote about it in my book, Trends 2000, quoting a former fellow in the top guy in the service that said it was a lie, and how they all knew it, and what a piece of crap Robert McNamara was.
Gerald, again, I can't believe that I just can't stomach the thought that we're about to venture onto another Vietnam, this one called Ukraine. It just, this will destroy America. Public just won't tolerate this.
Well, the public will tolerate it. The public will follow anything. Look at the people hanging out there like you hanging out there Ukrainian flags. What hypocrites! Oh, you like what America did in Iraq, huh? No, I like Afghanistan a lot better. No, Yemen. Yemen's the war for me. I love Obama, the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner. That guy Gaddafi has to go, along with Hillary Clinton saying the same thing about Gaddafi, and they both said it about Assad. And here the United States condemning Russia in a border war that's been going on for 300 years. And again, you mentioned Scott Ritter saying, that there were troops on the ground. And he had a great event over here in Poughkeepsie last week where he had a book signing. And here's his new book. So people that want to find out more about it. Disarmament in a Time of Perestroika, Arms Control and the End of the Soviet Union, a personal journal by Scott Ritter. And so people want to know about, really what's going on. And you see this guy, boy, he was really there. Scott Ritter's book could not be timelier. He transports us back to an era where the world stood on the brink of nuclear collapse. Daniel Ellsberg.
Yes. Yes.
So
Scott's a great man. You and I have had the pleasure of working with him. He's a regular on my podcast and a fan favorite, along with Doug McGregor and Phil Giraldi.
Yep. So this war keeps heating up, and what's going on, I mentioned that the reason I bought these 3 buildings on the most historic 4 corners in America is when I came back from Germany in 2012. Actually, it was April 27th I came back. And when I looked at Berlin and I realized, and they showed me all around, the whole area, you see these beautiful buildings and everything else destroyed. And Berlin was grander than Paris before it was bombed out in World War II. And I said, why didn't the people stop it before it was destroyed? And now the same thing's going on in Ukraine. The place is being destroyed.
Yes.
It's being destroyed in front of everybody's eyes.
Yes, Kyiv is a beautiful city and it has magnificent monasteries and Roman and Orthodox Catholic relics and churches and cathedrals, and it's being destroyed. Being destroyed because the United States is involved in the war.
What's that?
It's being destroyed because the United States is extending the war by supplying them with the means with which to fight. Putin can't lose this war, and the Americans need to know that.
Yep. And now we have troops on the ground.
Yes.
So you look at the cover of this week's Trends Journal, and what is it? False flag.
Everybody blaming everybody else.
That's right. And that's what we're going to be faced with. So we're at a critical time over here. And the people don't realize it. Again, they put out this stupid garbage, who's getting divorced, all the stupid crap I could care less, and make us hate each other with this propaganda that they put out about baseball World Series being racist. And the big issues are being overlooked, and the details about them are not in the minds of the people. And again, it's so easy to march people off to war when they have fear and hysteria. I want to read you something. This is from RFK Jr. and his movie about the real Fauci. He says, there was tremendous fear in our country that was generated by the press and the media and the medical cartel, which I call, of course, the drug dealers. When people get fearful, their capacity for critical thinking gets disabled. And it's a human inclination to look for reassurance and leadership from their leaders of authorities. He said it perfectly.
People will drop their wish for liberty and cling to what they think is safety. And of course, the government provides neither.
Yeah, he nailed it perfectly. When people get fearful, their capacity for critical thinking gets disabled. And they look to these stupid little arrogant moronic clowns to lead them. How dumb can you be? Oh, and by the way, you go back to when this war began, even before it began in Ukraine, and how the media kept saying that Putin was ready to die, Putin is crazy. Remember that? Putin's losing
Putin
his
is sick.
mind.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, let's go to America. Hey, that Biden man, what a solid cat he is. He's not losing his mind. Oh, no, he's not crazy. No, he's right there wandering around, spewing out crap. Did you hear the one you came out with yesterday? He mentioned Iraq, and he said, no, I meant Ukraine. And the reason I mentioned Iraq is because my son died in Iraq. His son didn't die in Iraq war. But I'm saying why isn't the press, when they were saying how out of the mind Putin was and is, how come they're not saying how out of his mind, right in front of your eyes, Biden is?
I guess because they're basically lefties and they like his incompetent management of the executive branch of the federal government. What are you going to say? It's terrible.
It's terrible. Well, Judge, thanks for being on. Always appreciate all that you do and how you enlighten the people to the facts of what's going on in this country and how we're losing our rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And by the way, you never hear that word pursuit of happiness anymore. Happiness is not allowed. And you read Washington's farewell address, he only mentions it a number of times. But
right.
You don't need to be happy. Be fearful. Be, and
come to us for safety. Give us your liberty. Give us your liberty, and we'll keep you safe. It's like Satan behind a tree.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. Thanks a lot, Judge. See you next week.
All right, bro. All the best.
Bye-bye.